What if everything you've been feeling lately, those unexplained body aches, people suddenly leaving your life, intense dreams, and even that ringing in your ears, aren't signs of confusion, but clear evidence that you're awakening to something much greater? What if, in reality, these symptoms are proof that you've already begun vibrating at a higher frequency, accessing dimensions of existence that were previously hidden from your senses? There is a hidden gift, an ancient forgotten technique that high vibration people can consciously activate. This gift allows healing, transformation, manifestation, and access to wisdom that transcends time and space. And you can access it too, simply by remembering who you truly are. Before we continue, write in the comments right now, "I have the gift." This affirmation is more than words. It is a calling, an activation, a reminder of everything your soul has always known. Since ancient times, many spiritual traditions and ancestral cultures have agreed on one essential point. Human beings are not just limited physical bodies, but infinite consciousness temporarily experiencing material reality. Shamans, mystics, yogis, and masters from both East and West have always taught that within each person exists a divine spark, a part of us eternally connected to the source of all that exists. In recent years, science has also begun exploring this possibility. Researchers in fields like quantum physics, neuroscience, and expanded consciousness studies have identified phenomena that challenge conventional laws of reality. Experiments involving intention, deep meditation, and altered states show that the human mind can directly influence the body, the environment, and even time itself. These discoveries reinforce what sages have known for millennia. When a person raises their vibration, they begin accessing higher levels of perception, wisdom, and power. This isn't something supernatural, but a natural awakening of what has always been dormant within us. High vibration people already live in this state, and the technique you're about to learn is the bridge that can take you there as well. Spiritual awakening doesn't begin with bursts of light, mystical visions, or transcendent experiences. Most of the time, it manifests quietly, subtly, yet profoundly. People who are elevating their vibration to more refined and higher levels often go through physical, emotional, and behavioral changes that may initially seem confusing or even uncomfortable. However, these signs are clear markers of a deep transition. You are crossing the bridge between the dense world of the third dimension and the expanded fields of higher consciousness. One of the first and most common signs is the body reacting in unusual ways. Aches with no medical explanation, extreme fatigue even after sleeping, changes in eating habits, sleep patterns, and sensations like tingling or heat in certain parts of the body. This happens because the body is energetically recalibrating to sustain a higher frequency. Your system is releasing old emotional burdens, cellular memories, and frequencies that are no longer compatible with your new vibration. At the same time, many people start noticing a sudden distancing from certain friendships, environments, and situations. People may simply disappear from your life without conflict because they're no longer in vibrational alignment. It can feel strange or painful, but it is actually a necessary release. Vibrational elevation works like a natural filter. Anything that does not resonate with your new state begins to fall away to make room for the new. It's not rejection, it's alignment. You're being prepared to receive more authentic, more conscious, more soul-aligned connections. Another frequent sign is heightened sensitivity. Sounds, lights, crowds, and even superficial conversations become more irritating. Your perception expands, and you start noticing subtleties that you previously ignored. The intentions behind words, the vibration of places, and even the emotional states of others. This sensitivity is not fragility. It is a clear sign that your spiritual senses are awakening. Over time, it refines itself and turns into sharp intuition, emotional telepathy, and a deeper energetic connection to the world around you. In addition, many people report hearing a constant ringing in the ears, a subtle high-frequency tone. This sound, known in certain traditions as the sound of the universe or the frequency of higher realms, is the mind beginning to perceive energetic layers that were previously out of reach. It's like tuning into a new radio station. At first it sounds like static, but then it becomes music. If you're experiencing any of these signs, know this: you are not losing your mind, nor losing control. You are remembering who you are. Your being is awakening. Your frequency is rising, and this is only the beginning. If you feel somewhere deep inside that you possess immense power but can't fully access it, you're right. This power exists. It has always existed. The issue is not its absence, it's the forgetting. And that forgetting was not a mistake. It was part of a much greater plan, the plan of human experience. Before incarnating in this world, your consciousness was not limited by time, space, pain, or separation. It was pure, unlimited, connected with the totality of the universe. You knew who you were, where you came from, and where you were going. But to fully experience human life, with all its nuances, lessons, and depth, it was necessary to pass through what many call the veil of forgetting. And this veil is a kind of energetic filter that temporarily blocks access to the soul's cosmic memory. But why would you agree to forget your greatness? Because remembering everything would make it impossible to live the challenges that make true growth possible. If you knew you were eternal, you would not fear death. If you knew you were unlimited, you would never learn what it means to overcome. If you were always conscious of the divine within you, you would never experience the beauty of rediscovering it. Forgetting creates the perfect stage for love, faith, courage, and the voluntary choice of light to have meaning. It is within the contrast of light and shadow that the spirit blooms. The problem is that in forgetting, many people become lost. They begin identifying solely with the body, with rational thought, with the fears and limitations of the ego. They come to believe they are only this: flesh, a name, a profession, problems, and the deeper they sink into this illusion, the harder it becomes to remember the truth. That's why most people live in a sort of spiritual sleep, functioning, surviving, but not truly living. But there comes a call that begins to echo when the soul is ready. It starts subtly, a feeling that something is missing, a discomfort that won't go away, a desire to seek deeper answers. Then it intensifies. Synchronicities begin to happen. Information appears by chance, dreams become messages, and intuition begins to shout. This is the veil beginning to dissolve. It is the remembering process initiating. Remembering your power is not something that comes from the outside. No master, guru, or system can give you what is already yours. Their only mission is to point you inward. Everything you need is and has always been within you. And the true activation begins when you accept this inner calling and consciously choose to remember. Forgetting was necessary, but remembering is inevitable. And when you begin to remember, reality shifts, limitations dissolve, and your true essence starts guiding every step of your path. There's a part of you that never forgot who you are, a part that observes everything, understands everything, and loves everything about you, including what you call your flaws. This is what many traditions call the higher self. Unlike the rational mind, which judges, fears, and limits itself, the higher self is pure consciousness, connected to the source, silently guiding your every step, waiting only for you to listen again. The higher self is not something outside of you, distant or inaccessible. It is you in your most elevated state. It is the version of your soul that never lost its connection with the whole. Even though it seems invisible, it is always present. In silence, in sudden intuitions, in those inner certainties that arise without logic, but with undeniable force. It communicates through subtlety, not imposition. And that's why it is often ignored amid the constant noise of the mind, routine, and external distractions. Reconnecting with the higher self doesn't require physical effort, technical knowledge, or complex practices. It begins with a choice. The choice to silence the noise outside so you can hear the wisdom within. Meditation, conscious breathing, contemplation, and spending time in nature are powerful ways to tune into this frequency. The more you slow down, the more your vibration rises, and the higher your vibration, the clearer the voice of the higher self becomes. Once you reconnect with this greater consciousness, something radical begins to shift in your life. First comes perception. You stop reacting automatically and begin seeing the purpose behind every experience. Fear loses its grip, doubt fades, clarity grows. You begin making decisions based on inner wisdom that was always there but used to be drowned out by insecurity and conditioning. Then the activations begin. The higher self has access to all your cosmic memories, your gifts, your purpose for this incarnation. When you open this channel, you begin awakening abilities that were previously dormant. Sharp intuitions, spontaneous healings, powerful synchronicities, and even fast manifestations of what you desire with a pure heart. This happens because the higher self doesn't operate under the laws of limitation, but under the laws of conscious creation. Reactivating this connection is, in practice, remembering who you are, not a being searching for answers outside, but an infinite consciousness rediscovering itself from within. And the more active this presence becomes in your life, the more you live in alignment, truth, and real power. The higher self is your most faithful guide, and it is waiting for you to say, "I am ready to remember." High vibration people aren't special because they have gifts others don't. The difference is that they remembered. They remembered what they're capable of, remembered their true nature, and above all, recognized that these gifts were always accessible. What changes is the level of consciousness. And when vibration rises, certain spiritual abilities, once seen as mystical or reserved for a few, begin to manifest naturally and practically. The first gift is the power of instant healing. This doesn't mean every physical issue will vanish magically, but that the body begins to respond more intelligently to consciousness. Many awakened individuals can release emotional pain stored in the body for years simply through a shift in perception, a deep act of forgiveness, or a focused meditation. Self-healing becomes a process guided by energy, not just matter. The second gift is access to all knowledge. When reconnecting with expanded consciousness, a person begins receiving insights, ideas, information about past lives, future choices, and wisdom not learned through conventional means. These are answers that come in silence, solutions that arise in the mind, like downloads. This gift becomes evident in people who start having extremely accurate intuitions or even dream of answers that completely change the course of their decisions. The third gift is the ability to shape reality. Matter organizes itself around consciousness. Therefore, when someone vibrates high, their thoughts, emotions, and intentions directly affect the reality around them. Subtle, energetic shifts manifest as synchronicities, unexpected encounters, and doors opening without effort. It's the universe responding to the person's internal vibration. The fourth gift is the expansion of consciousness beyond time. The linear mind gives way to a multidimensional perception. This manifests through memories of other lives, visions of parallel realities, and even the ability to access future potentials. Awakened individuals begin sensing that everything is happening at once, and their choices influence more than just the present moment. The fifth gift is telepathy and intuitive communication. Awakened people start sensing more precisely what others feel, intuiting the truth behind words, and often communicating through energy rather than verbal language. There is a silent connection that speaks louder than speech. The sixth gift is multidimensional awareness, perceiving that you are not only this body or this reality, feeling the presence of guides, sensing energies in environments, and interacting with non-physical intelligence become common experiences. The seventh gift is instant manifestation. Desires aligned with the heart materialize with ease, not through magic, but because the person is vibrating in resonance with what they seek. These gifts are not future promises. They are present potentialities, waiting only for your remembrance. If these spiritual gifts already exist within you, why don't they manifest fully in your life? Why do so many people feel something powerful inside, but can't access it? The answer lies in three invisible, yet extremely powerful barriers: limiting belief, low vibration, and disconnection from the inner self. These barriers don't come from outside. They're built internally, often unconsciously, and they are what keep the veil of forgetting in place. The first and deepest barrier is limiting belief. Everything you believe becomes true in your experience. If you believe you have no power, that you're not special, that spiritual gifts are fantasy, or that you're unworthy, the universe responds by confirming exactly that. Belief acts as a filter between you and your power. It determines what you allow to enter, grow, and manifest. Doubt is the silent saboteur of spiritual expansion. Overcoming it requires courage to question everything you've learned, everything people told you you were, everything the world calls normal. It requires replacing "this isn't possible" with "what if this is possible for me too?" The second barrier is low vibration. Access to higher consciousness happens in elevated states of energy. Emotions like fear, guilt, anger, shame, and resentment keep the energetic field in low frequency. In this state, the mind becomes dense, the body tense, and the flow of vital energy restricted. It's like trying to tune into a radio station with interference. You know the transmission is there, but you can't hear it clearly. To access your gifts, you must become compatible with them. This requires a conscious choice to raise your vibration through daily practices. Gratitude, forgiveness, meditation, light eating, connection with nature, and authenticity. High vibration is not constant euphoria. It is conscious presence and alignment with your essence. The third barrier is disconnection from the inner self. We spend our lives looking outward, seeking approval, distraction, recognition, answers. This constant escape from ourselves creates a gap between what you live and who you truly are. Spiritual power cannot be accessed from the surface of the external world. It lives in the inner silence. Disconnection is the greatest obstacle to remembering your power. To overcome it, you need to stop, silence, and dive inward. Creating moments of solitude is not isolation, it is reconnection. It is in this inner space that the higher self speaks, where the gifts manifest, where truth pulses. Overcoming these three barriers doesn't require perfection, it requires intention. When you choose to believe, raise your vibration, and reconnect with your center, you lift the veil that once covered your light. And when this happens, there are no limits, only remembrance. Knowing that you possess spiritual gifts is inspiring. Believing in them is transformative. But it is daily conscious practice that truly activates this dormant energy. Connecting with your inner power doesn't happen automatically, nor depends on random mystical moments. It blooms through the intentional repetition of small rituals that re-educate your body, mind, and vibration to remember who you are. The first step of activation is preparing your inner and outer environment. Choose a quiet space where you won't be interrupted. Turn off electronics, dim the lights, and calm the atmosphere. But more important than the physical environment is the energetic environment. Breathe deeply and mentally declare, "I allow my consciousness to expand. I am ready to remember." This permission activates free will, which is essential. No gift can be forced. It must be chosen. The second step is the bridge of breath. Inhale deeply for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 6, and hold for 2. Repeat this cycle for at least 5 minutes. This breathing calms the conscious mind and shifts your brainwaves into slower patterns, like alpha and theta, which facilitate access to higher consciousness. As you breathe, Visualize a white light entering through your head and filling your entire body. The third step is body scanning and emotional release. Bring your attention to the top of your head and slowly move downward, feeling each part of your body. Wherever there is tension, resistance, or pain, inhale light and exhale slowly as if melting that rigidity. Repeat mentally, I release what no longer serves me. I empty myself to be filled with light. This process cleanses the vibrational field and removes energetic blocks that hinder connection. The fourth step is connecting with the higher self. In this deep state of presence, speak to your higher self softly or mentally. And which gift is ready to be activated in me now? Or what do I need to remember today to live my truth? Don't expect an answer in words. It may come as a feeling, an image, a memory, or simply a profound sense of peace. Trust. The answer always comes. The fifth step is requesting healing or conscious manifestation. With an open heart, direct your intention. I now ask for the healing of, name the pain or block. Or I ask that my gift of, name the gift, manifests with clarity and wisdom. Hold your focus for a few minutes, feeling that it is already done. The vibration of certainty is the bridge between intention and reality. Finally, the sixth step is sealing the process with gratitude. Thank your body, your consciousness, and the energy that guides you. Gratitude raises your vibration even more and seals the activation process. Repeat this practice every day. Even if it feels subtle at first, it creates irreversible transformation. Awakening doesn't happen all at once. It reveals itself day by day, with each choice to remember. Now that you've understood the immense power that exists within you, don't let this knowledge remain only as inspiration. True transformation begins when you choose to act, when you decide to apply what you felt, heard, and remembered. You are not here by accident. If this content reached you, it's because your soul is ready to access a new level of consciousness, and the activation of your gifts is not a magical event. It is a daily practice of connection, intention, and presence. Start today. Set aside a few minutes in silence, apply the practice you learned here, and notice how your energy begins to shift. Don't expect grand results immediately. Honor every sign, every intuition, every emotion that rises. The journey of awakening is built step by step, vibration by vibration. And remember, you are not alone. Thousands of souls are awakening at this very moment, feeling the same calling, seeking the same inner reunion. If this video touched you in any way, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share it with someone who also needs to remember. And write in the comments right now, I activate my gifts. This affirmation is more than words. It is a pact with your soul. The moment is now. The remembering has already begun.